Shanghai, Suzhou Creek was little more than an open sewer for decades as its murky waters coursed through the heart of Shanghai. Now, it teems with life along verdant banks that stretch for 26 miles. Joggers wind along burgundy paths lined with azaleas, wisteria and osmanthus. Fishermen catch carp weighing up to 11 pounds. Children skip rope, while elderly couples rest on waterfront benches. In the past, we couldn't even come near Suzhou Creek because the water reeked and was black, said Zhang Guanghe, a 79-year-old retired fertilizer factory foreman, as construction crews planted more trees along the water. The rehabilitation of Suzhou Creek is part of a nationwide program to build parks across China, offering an escape from the concrete jungles that have long typified many big Chinese cities. It's urban planning for the next stage of development, as China evolves into an industrialized, affluent nation. An increasingly educated populace is demanding not just rising pay but also a better quality of life. Building parks is very much similar to curbing pollution, though it looks like a money-losing proposition, it is nonetheless good for the society, said Liu Jing, an accounting and finance professor at Cheung Graduate School of Business in Beijing. Parks offer an easy, albeit not cheap, way to satisfy some of those societal needs. As with other municipal programs in China, officials can quickly move entire neighborhoods to make way for green spaces, even when there is grumbling from residents. Since 2001, China has nearly quintupled the acreage of public green space in its cities, according to data from the country's Ministry of Housing, Urban and Rural Development. Park construction has taken on greater urgency during the pandemic. Many people have been cautious about going to restaurants, cinemas and other indoor locations. Suzhou, famous for its ancient canals, has opened 20 new parks in the past year. Kaifeng, a former imperial capital, built 28. Shanghai added 55 parks last year, bringing its total to 406. The metropolis, one of the world's largest, has announced plans to build nearly 600 more parks in the city in the next 5 years. I see a lot more trees and flowers than before, it is changing the city's texture, said Wang Min, a professor at the Central Academy of Fine Arts in Beijing who was a design director for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. The average Chinese city now rivals New York in publicly accessible green space per person. New York has long been a leader among densely populated American cities in building parks, thanks to the creation of Central Park, Prospect Park and Pelham Bay Park in the 19th century. The comparison, though, isn't exactly fair. American cities have not only parks but also many private lawns. Chinese cities have very few lawns, because municipal zoning rules generally prohibit them, as well as most single-family homes.